Words cannot even begin to describe how amazing this episode was from start to finish. So this episode, it got me. I just finished watching the episode, and normally I rewatch the episode like 2 to 3 times, and I'm gonna rewatch this episode, but normally I rewatch the episode 2 to 3 times before I decide to make a video on it, but I gotta get my raw thoughts out. Like, I gotta get it while my emotions are running high right now. I just finished the episode. It came out like an hour ago, and finally got around to watching it, and so amazing. I am just, as a fan of My Hero Academia, someone that's been reading this since chapter 1, when it first started getting translated. This is everything I wanted. This went above and beyond anything I ever imagined. I knew this episode was probably gonna be good, and I knew Studio Bones, they deliver some high quality. Like, the quality to their content and what they do for My Hero Academia is a whole other level. Like, it just astounds me, blows me away each freaking week. But this episode, it takes the cake. It literally, like, if there was a cake, it literally just snatched that cake and then went over to, like, the neighbor's house and stole the cake from that man as well. That's what Studio Bones just did. They went fiend. Like, they went pure fiend on this episode. I'm just gonna say, if you have not watched this episode, what the hell you doing here? Like, get the hell off this video and just go watch the freaking episode. Like, go watch it again, okay? Even if you've seen it, just go watch that again. Like, holy crap. Holy crap. Oh, it's been a while since I have seen an episode get me like this. And if you've been around for a while, like if you've watched my content for a while, you know that when it comes to something really good, I can get emotional and really attached. And it's one of them times. I'm pretty high emotions right now just because of what this episode was doing, the meaning behind it, art and animation, just everything about this episode. I don't think, I say it a lot, I don't think it could be better, but this is literally like words to live by for this episode. There is just, honestly, any way, I don't think this could have been any better. There's just no way. There is no freaking way after what I just witnessed, after watching this phenomenal episode. I dare say it was a masterpiece of an episode. That's how good it was. But okay. The symbol. The symbol of peace. All Might.
次は 次は君だ
He falls. Now, he does manage to put All for One behind bars before everything is said and done. The concept or the message of this episode was that this was All Might's final job, his final act as the symbol of peace, as the pillar that supports and holds up society. He is done. That final segment of the episode where he points to the camera, and it was a message. Everybody might think he was talking to villains, and that's what Izuku says. But in reality, what All Might was doing in that moment, he wasn't pointing at the villains. He was pointing at Izuku, saying, I'm done. There's nothing I can do. My body is broken, beyond repair. The last embers of One for All has left me. I am just a average, quirkless human being. And now it's up to you, Izuku, to stand up and face whatever horrors and scary things or villains in the future, and if All for One returns, you also are the one that has to face him. It's a very emotional scene, because when he raises his fist in the air and all that, basically, he was doing that as his final time to shine in the public. Not because he wants fame, not because he wants to be renowned as the #1 hero, no. he did that. He showed his muscled up form in that moment, even though he was way beyond his limit. He did that just to make everybody reassured that everything is okay. He just wanted to make them calm for that very moment, because he knows with him pretty much being done, the symbol of peace now has fallen to the ground. He knows that things are going to change pretty rapidly. And it's just a very emotional moment, because when you think about All Might in the context of this fight, with him fighting All for One, you would think that All Might would have died here, and he's gotten a lot of death flags, okay? Ever since the beginning of the first episode of My Hero Academia, All Might has received countless death flags, and even in Season 2, he's like, tell him, All Might, tell Izuku that you won't probably be around when he has to face the great evil, which is All for One, or could potentially be Shigaraki. He tries to tell Izuku that, but he doesn't. And there's always been these death flags that have been behind the scenes with All Might's character, so when you come into this fight, you honestly expect All Might to die, and it really looked like that. But I want to say what I said in my manga chapter review for when this happened in the manga. What just happened to All Might is definitely a twist on the normal shonen, because normally the mentor-type character and the main hero, or someone that's like the strong teacher for our MC, usually they die. I mean, you can think of a lot of other shonen, this typically does happen. But there's also another twist when you think about this. What's worse, dying and all that, or living on and being powerless to stop anything that happens around you? Think about it like that. All Might no longer has his quirk one for all. He can't be a hero anymore. I mean, obviously his personality won't change. He might want to rush out there and save someone, but he can't technically be a hero anymore. He can't fight villains anymore. And so you gotta imagine the mental hell he's going to go through now, knowing that he can't do what he always did, be a hero. It's kind of like saying, Izuku, give up your one for all quirk right now. You no longer can be a hero. You gotta be quirkless. That's pretty much what just happened to All Might. He has no quirk, and now he has the last remnants of one for all completely has left him. The embers have went out. And basically, he's going to have to live in a world now, watch the world slowly crumble around him, that used to have a pillar, but no longer has it. He's going to have to watch society slowly come undone. And which is worse, do you think? Him dying in the middle of this fight, or watching the world crumble around him? It's a really thought-provoking, conclusion to this fight, and it makes me actually respect Horikoshi's decision. Because it would have been, honestly, easier to kill off All Might, but keeping him around makes the story even more, I guess, in-depth. It makes you wonder, how All Might's going to feel as a character. It leads to a lot of character development for him, because it makes you wonder, how's he going to feel about how he can't change the fate of time and all that, and how the world is changing, and he can't do nothing to stop it. But that's one of the big things I like about this fight. It's one of the big reasons why it's one of my favorite segments of the manga. It's just because of the core message. And as I already said in my last episode review, All for One and All Might, they're pillars. Regardless of how you feel about All for One and how he's a heinous individual and he's a villain, they both are representing two sides. You have All for One represent the villain side, the symbol of evil, while All Might is the symbol of peace. They both have their ideals, what they stand for. They're pillars for their parts of society. And now with All Might toppled down and All for One now collapsed as well, and he's being sent to prison, these two individuals that were relics of the old times are gone. And now society is entering into a new era. Changes are going to happen. It's unstoppable at this point, and it puts a lot of meaning to when he's like, I kind of feel bad and I'm going to be doing the final blow to Hero Society. That's what All for One says in this episode. Basically saying, Shigaraki's tried so hard to slowly, tear apart how the public feels about Hero Society in general. He's trying to rip it down one by one, just hacking at the pillars and all that, just cutting it down. And finally, that has happened. But it wasn't Shigaraki that did it. It was All for One. And when he did that, it's irreversible now. Because now, technically, Endeavor is the #1 hero when you think about it. Which that is something I want to get into. It's a very, very quick, but powerful moment of this episode and in the manga. And it holds a lot of significance for the current events in the manga. I'm not going to get into any spoilers, but it's very, very important. Endeavor, as we know as a character, to give you a reminder for you anime-onlys if you've forgotten, he is Todoroki's father, and he is a very heinous man. He pretty much mentally abused his wife and all of his children, messed them up, and in a lot of ways kind of abandoned them. And he's just not a good father. He basically looked at his own son Shoto Todoroki as a tool just to be able to surpass All Might. That's the whole reason why he wanted Todoroki in the first place, was just to have a child that could, beat All Might and become the #1 hero. But that's the thing about this episode and that segment. When you see him look at All Might and he sees his decrepit, weakened form, shriveled up body, he realizes how far he really was from All Might. Think about it like this. Endeavor is the #2 hero. He's always wanted to surpass All Might. But when you think about it, he was never able to pass a man that was way beyond his prime. He was no longer his prime self, prime All Might. So he realized in that moment he never stood a chance. He never could bridge that gap between him and All Might, because if he was that much of a challenger, that hard to beat, and had that big of a gap already before he knew of his decrepit, shriveled form, then his prime self, he never would have stood a chance. And you gotta imagine how much of a wake-up call that is for Endeavor, how it just crushes his whole self-esteem and everything he tried to do in his life. And so when you see that gap between him and All Might, it holds a lot of weight for his character and what he's tried to do as a person. But then when you see the flashbacks of Todoroki's mother and Todoroki and all that, you realize he's like, there's no words. Words are not needed for that segment to understand what he was thinking in that moment. He's like, I did all of that heinous crap, all that stuff that's happened in my past. All that happened to be able to surpass this man, but I couldn't surpass him even when he was at his weakest. You gotta imagine, his world just came crashing down, and that's the effects of the symbol of peace being exposed and breaking. So, powerful moment. One of my favorite moments, I think, of this arc. It holds so much weight, and it's thought-provoking, because Endeavor now has had a major wake-up call. He's no longer, trying to compete with All Might, because technically he's the #1 hero by default. He didn't surpass All Might, and then on top of that, he never will have the chance to surpass All Might, because All Might is being forced to step down. So you'll never know if his son or him will ever be better than All Might, because there's no way to know now. So yeah, that's a very good segment for this episode. I think the anime did a fantastic job, phenomenal job for that scene. When All For One talks about Shigaraki, and he tries to basically say Nana and Shigaraki, they're relatives. Shigaraki is he is the grandson of Nana, All Might's mentor. It comes full circle, and you realize how heinous that really is. All Might came in smiling and all that because he took down Shigaraki in Season 1, and even in recent episodes. And it's messed up when you think about it, that's what Shigaraki needed when he was a kid, when he was abandoned, when his parents were gone, and he most likely killed his father, and he just needed help. Nobody came to save him. Only All For One was there. And all he really wanted was someone like All Might to come in and say, I am here, don't worry, and smile for Shigaraki, but All Might never arrived. And it's kind of ironic that the time that All Might does arrive is when Shigaraki is a villain, and he is smiling at him because he's taking him down. It's messed up. It is, and that's kind of what All For One was setting up. He set up that entire event just to get to All Might. And like I said, that's what I was talking about in my last episode review, that he could potentially be conditioning Shigaraki and all that. And we don't really know if he truly does care about Shigaraki or if he was manipulating him in a way just to get at All Might for that one scene in this episode. We really have no idea. But regardless, the point stands is that All For One is a very, very evil man. Like, he truly did something that is despicable. And on top of that, what he did when he put his face in a smile, and then we have a flashback to Nana doing the exact same thing, that basically shows that he was mocking her trademarked smile, and he was also the one that killed her. And he was mocking that in front of All Might. And when you saw All Might just frown, holy crap, the emotions. When he screamed, oh my god, the emotions in that. I thought that no, him screaming no like 2 episodes ago was emotional, but that screech, that just the whine from All Might when he realized how he failed to save Nana's relative. Oh my god, the voice actor gave me chills. So many chills in that moment. And it wasn't just that, just the voice acting in general, like, Izuku screaming All Might, just screaming for All Might, everybody screaming for All Might, or hearing Nana's voice actor, or, All For One's voice actor talking about how he hates All Might, he's buffing up, he uses all his quirks, he's like, I'm going to end you, I'm going to try to kill you with everything I have. I'm like, just the voice acting in general for this episode blew my mind. I just, yeah, I'm gone. Okay, it's just like, yo. So, I mean, there was so many good things with this episode, and so much meanings, just so much. And this is what I've been waiting for a very long time, because this holds a lot of weight and impact on the story. All Might is gone. All For One is gone. That's a big deal. That's pretty big. So, yeah, that's something. And then also seeing how All Might hates All For One, and then All For One hates All Might as well because of, how All Might took everything down and all that, removed everything that he built for so many years. It's crazy. And then just seeing how this man was mocking Nana the entire time, saying, like, she wasn't worthy of the quirk I created, one for all, and all that. It's just like, oh my god, this man, like, what he has done. He really was showing how he truly is the ultimate evil of the series. But yeah, the art animation department was just, it blew my mind as well. Like, oh crap, just seeing All Might pushed back by All For One, man. And then also the line from All For One as well, when he's like, since you're a hero and you're wounded and all that, I should be fearful, which I think was a very intelligent move in terms of writing for Horikoshi to say, because usually when it comes to someone backed into a corner, they're wounded and they're about to die, they're the scariest, because like I've said in other reviews, survival instincts, it starts kicking in, and All Might was pushed into a corner. He was wounded, he couldn't really do much, and that's what All For One said. He's like, I should be very fearful of you. You're wounded. And still to this day, I'm reminded of you rushing at me with your organs just hanging out. I have nightmares about it. That says a lot. That's horrific to think about. Just, that is something All For One thinks about. He has nightmares to this day, he says, that he envisions All Might with his organs just plopped out and rushing him to beat the living crap out of him, which puts a lot of weight on the, the actual scene that we got with how All Might was just over All For One's body in a pool of blood. That man beat All For One senseless while his organs were literally just hanging out of his body. That's some scary crap. So just hearing that from All For One, a villain, the main villain, saying like, I have nightmares, thinking about you charging me with your organs hanging out. Holy crap, that shows the fury that All Might had against the man. And that's why he was very scared as well. He's like, I should be weary. I should be weary of maybe the 2 to 3 punches to come after your final punch. Because usually that's how a hero is. Surpassing your limits, going in even more. And that, my god, I just love it. And I also really do like the scene to where All Might does, a fake out where he uses his right arm and you just see it getting crunched and destroyed. Oh my god. And then when you see the arm flip back and he uses his other on the United States to smash and stuff, which, oh my god, I love that, by the way. You see how his arm represents Izuku. It looks exactly like Izuku, and it's kind of referencing that Izuku and All Might are very similar, and All Might was pushing his body to the absolute limit, beyond the limit, like, for instance, what Izuku does. Remember, Izuku, when he uses One For All, correction, he breaks his body all the time, and that's kind of what All Might was doing. He went so far beyond, he just started snapping his body just to be able to fight back against the man. Like, you saw his, like, literal hand convulsing or whatever, just seeing blood just pulsing out of him, and you just see how it just, like, was cracking and all that, and his hand got all twisted and messed up, and then he used his other hand to hit, just, my god. So, yeah, that was, the reason why All For One was like, you changed and all that. That's not something you would do. He was kind of saying that you got that from your student, most likely. For instance, Izuku. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Just, Oh my god, phenomenal. I want to go rewatch it. I want to go rewatch the episode now. So I'm just gonna say 10 out of 10 episode. No. You know what? No. Masterpiece out of 10. This was everything I wanted from this episode. Holy crap! Just thank you, Studio Bones. Thank you for being a really good studio that's very passionate about this. I am very pleased with this episode. So let me know your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoy my content, please subscribe. If you like this video, please leave a like. And if you want to get notified whenever I upload a video, please click the bell icon down below. And with that, I love you guys. Please be safe. Chibi out.